Alrighty, so here's the next little thing that we're going to do. It's actually really fun. I love doing this. Expressing an exponential in base e. And this is actually kind of a big deal because say you're on the street and someone gives you something like this and they're like, you know, my growth rate for the frogs on this, I don't know, river is that. Or this is my equation. What's the growth rate? And they said something like that because this happens all the time, right? Probably not. But anyway, the nice thing about our other format, remember the other format that we had, which was like f of t was a naught times e to the rate times time, is I could go right to this problem and say, here's my growth rate, right there, got it. But I can't do that here. It's not there, it's hiding, and we get very angry. So what we have to do is we have to convert something that's not in base e into something that is. So let's talk about how we do that. So let's just talk about having a general form. So we had y to the a times b, or y equals a times b to the x. So let's do a little aside here. So what did we say that e to the natural log of b was? E to the natural log of b, so the property, natural log of b is b. So e to the natural log of b to the x would be b to the x. Yeah, exactly. Now, if I just look at natural log of b to the x as a natural log by itself, if I just think about, forget everything else that's going on, but if I just look at that as a natural log, what can I do with this x? I can move it to the front, right? So really, that's the same thing as x times natural log of b, e to that equals b to the x. Okay? You say, why do I care? Because it's awesome, that's why. Natural log of b, so I could also, you know, just redo the order that I'm doing that. Instead of x times natural log of b, I could go natural log of b times x equals b to the x. And now look at, I've got b to the x here, I've got b to the x here. So this is either the thing that makes you just, wow, this is so exciting, I want to do math for the rest of my life, or it makes you roll your eyes and say, no, please stop. This is one of the things that makes me love math. It's because now, all of a sudden, I've taken something that's like a times b to the x, and I've turned it into, I'm going to substitute in directly b to the x and get e to the natural log of b times x. I really love this stuff. Like, this makes me go, wow, this is so cool. Why is this so cool? Because now, all of a sudden, I have something that looks like this, and so that's my rate. Look, it's my rate. Here's my rate. Here's my rate. So it's fantastic. Yay. No, for real. For real. This is really cool. I love this. So basically we've got this equation, this, not equation, but equality, whatever. It's related. A times b to the x is the same thing as a times e to the natural log of b times x, right? So if we looked at our little arbitrary frog example, so we had, if we had y equals 5 to the 3x, and somebody asked us to find the growth rate on that thing, we could say, all right, well, what's going on here? What happens to the a? So this is my a. My a stays the same, so my a is just chill. And then I have times e to the natural log of, so my b is the thing I take the natural log of. So my b is the thing I take the natural log of, then times x. So 5, or y equals 5 times e to the natural log of 3 times x. So if I compare this to my rate equation, rate times time, what's my rate? My rate is the natural log of 3, which is whatever, natural log of 3. So 0.0, I don't know, 1.099. So this is really cool because you're able to turn problems like this into something like this, and you're basically able to change the base. And you can do this for all kinds of things, but this is the one we're going to use it for. So that's a kind of a fun problem. So let's look at something like this. So we have y equals ab to the x is the same thing as y equals a times e to the ln b times x. So if I had a problem, and this is more like what you're going to get on your homework because they're obnoxious, times 1.017 to the x. All right, you say, well, I've got y equals my a just stays out front. It's just 2.569. That's my a, 2.569. Then times e to the ln. The b is the thing I take the natural log of, so that's my b, and then just times x. And really, a lot of times that's just what it's asking you to do, is just to rewrite it in this form. It's actually kind of cool. Yay!